All right, what is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Inside the LPGA Podcast. We are coming off of one of the most exciting weeks I think we've had in golf in general in a very long time. I'm so pleased to be joined with my co-host, Emma Talley, and we need to jump right in because so much happened. First and foremost, we got to talk about our girl, Brooke Henderson. She won the CPKC Women's Open in her home country for the second time. I mean, how amazing was that? I don't know about you, but I had chills watching her do what she did. She just absolutely dominated. And especially after having a year that really hasn't been what she wanted, and that kind of reflects on what Brooke usually is. You know, she's such a superstar. She's only had one top 10 finish this season, and then boom, she wins in her home country. How amazing was that moment, Emma?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it felt like a major for her. It's not a major, but I'm sure it felt like one. Yeah, she hasn't had a great season. She even said it in her press conference, she had lots of doubts for herself. And I just thought it was really cool that she obviously won in her home country. The fans were amazing. The fans at the Canadian Open are always incredible. And I can only imagine the roars that they had when she made the final putt. But it was really cool. I was surprised I didn't see a lot of emotion, but I think she just was pretty shocked because she hasn't had a great year.
Yeah.
And it was just a great Sunday watching her and Minji fight it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, what a duo to watch battle it out. And it was pretty cool because they played in twos as well. So just watching them literally battle all day, they were neck and neck, was really, really neat. So super happy for Brooke. And yeah, she actually said in her post-round interview, she's like, I'm surprised I'm not crying right now. She's like, I thought I was going to cry, but she's like, I think I'm just still so shocked that I don't have any emotions right now, which I think we see that quite a bit on the LPGA. But when people win, I'm like, come on, give me tears. I want tears.
We need to get Adam. Now we need to interview Adam because he was pumped.
Oh my God. He immediately sent me a picture of him and Brooke, and they were both cheesing. They were holding the trophy. I was like, this is
so
amazing.
Funny.
Yeah, we need to get Adam on just to have him. We'll just let him talk for the whole time. Just be just tell us everything. Just tell us everything. So
yes.
Yeah, that was amazing. And then also, I think a tournament where you could probably hear roars for miles was the PGA Tours, their tour championship. We don't usually talk about the PGA Tour on here because it is the LPGA podcast. But I mean, Tommy Fleetwood, he is just I think he's got to be the most loved guy on the PGA
Golden Retriever
Tour.
For sure.
Exactly. So watching him finally get the job done, and at the tour championship, he won $10 million, which is crazy. I mean, how incredible was that? And all his quotes too, I was just like, gosh, he's just a good guy. He's just amazing.
Yeah, Tommy Fleetwood, I mean, it was absolutely amazing. One of his good friends is his caddy, so you could just see the relief on both of their faces, we finally did it. And even on the 18th hole when everyone flooded the greens, it was crazy because you could kind of see in Tommy's eyes, I still need to concentrate.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was just so much pressure for him to win. And, I don't think everything happens for a reason, but what he's gone through this year, I mean, I don't like saying people deserve it, but he deserved that. And very thankful that he kind of got to say, screw everybody, I did it at the biggest one. And I made $2 million.
Yeah. Mic drop.
Yeah. I think everybody in the world was rooting for that guy.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I loved it. I loved seeing Twitter. I got on Twitter after, and it was just everything. But I was like, come on, guys, we have Brooke Henderson win. I'm like, give us a week to have a really good story.
I know.
But no, I love Tommy, and I was so happy for him. And then quickly, I just want to also mention that Becky Morgan won the U.S. Women's Senior Open by 6 shots. So there was just some good golf going on around literally everywhere, and just good storylines. And this is the part of the season that I think just gets so much fun. So very, very excited to see how the rest of the year plays out. But the reason you and I are talking, Emma, is because we have an incredible guest on this week. We have Megan Khang on, which is just perfect timing. It's obviously the FM Championship. We're in Boston. I'm in Boston. I'm super excited. I love this tournament. It was actually the first year was last year, and both me and you, Emma, were here. So, and Megan Khang, who is from Boston. I mean, who better to have on than her? So that should be super fun. But I do want to like just preface this with, we actually recorded the episode with her before the CPKC Women's Open, because we just didn't, she already has a lot going on this week, and then obviously she's won in Canada before, so we were like, let's just record during the off week, and then we'll just hold it until FM Championship week. So if you're thinking some of these things seem dated, that's probably why. You're like, wait a minute, she already played in Canada, and she had a very good finish. She finished T7th, so what a good way to go into your little home championship. But Emma, I know you are good friends with Megan, so I want to give you the honors of introducing her.
Yeah, Megan, obviously her golf game is just as good as her personality, and that's why I put personality second, because she is so fun. She's the class clown on the tour. 4 Solheim Cup appearances, 1 win at the Canadian Open, and yes, we are very excited to have her on today. She is so much fun. So without further ado, Megan Khang, y'all.
All right, everybody, welcome into another episode of Inside the LPGA Podcast. And this week's special guest is the one and only Megan Khang. Megan, thank you so much for joining us. I know you have a lot going on right now. I feel like the last couple of months for you have been so crazy. Y'all had a great finish at the Dow Championship. Then you had a little T6 finish at the last major of the year. Now you're back home, moved into a new home. I mean, like, what is going on in your life? Because I know there's a lot. It's all good things, but like, how are you holding up right now?
It's definitely all great things, happy that the golf's kind of going well, of course, but, really exciting off the golf course stuff. I recently just bought a house with my boyfriend, and, once the grind from tour life stops, the grind of making this house a home, it never stops.
Yeah.
But it's such a fun process, like getting to pick out furniture, getting layouts, and currently building a pergola in the back, this is such a nice break to have. Let the guys do the work. But
amazing.
It's been a whirlwind, obviously playing well at Lexi, wasn't able to get the win, but I mean, it was such a cool week. And, if you had told us that we were kind of going to go to a playoff for a chance to win, I would have taken it at the beginning of the week in a heartbeat. But, life's been pretty good lately. A lot of my friends and family members have been giving birth to babies, and I know Emma gave birth to a little girl, so I'm loving the babies right now.
Oh, that's so
But
sweet.
I'm not. I'm clearing the air. I'm not, though. I'm not expecting any.
That was not her pregnancy announcement.
Just in case that was like misconstrued.
Megan just loves the babies. She's always loved babies. Since we were little kids, you've loved the babies.
But I think you love babies more than me, though, Emma.
It's the best.
Yeah.
The best life. It's so sweet, and they're so cute. And I already cried a couple times getting out of the newborn clothes. I'm like, you're growing up too fast. 8 weeks in. It's going to be a hard life.
Right. You've got a long life ahead of you, Emma.
I know. It's going to be a lot of tears. Megan, obviously, she just talked about finishing T6 at the British, and it was so fun to watch you guys play, you and Charlie, on the last day. How fun was that, being in contention at the British Open?
Yeah, I gotta say, like the whole week I had great grouping. It's pretty cool. Kind of on the weekend, I got to play with Lottie on Saturday, and Charlie, of course, on Sunday. So pretty big English names, both new and still young. Charlie's, I think, 1 or 2 years older than me. But I mean, Charlie's been on the scene for so long that it's been pretty cool, and like we're pretty good friends. I've always loved playing with Charlie. You're never gonna play slow with her.
Yeah, never.
But no, it's pretty cool though, because obviously I know we're in their neck of the woods over there in the UK, and Wales not being too far from England, it was definitely gonna be favorable for her. Definitely heard a lot of Charlie chants, same as Lottie, but you kind of expect that, and I surely thought Charlie had a good chance of winning it, kind of towards the end of the stretch, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was rooting for her because it was just such a cool day to watch her, just because in those conditions, I was struggling to find a fairway, but the way she the way she like played, and like the no fear in her game, like it was super cool, especially on a Sunday. Like obviously it's her last major of the year, and even though I did have a great finish myself, but to see Charlie kind of do what she did, and like I unfortunately falter at the end, but overall, it was still cool to get have a front row
Hmm.
seat to that.
Absolutely. And like you said, you were in contention again, and you've been in contention several times lately, and you're about to go to Canada, where you've won. Are you excited gearing up for that since you know how to win up there?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting with obviously the girls are in Portland this week, deciding not to play, so I get an extra week at home. But, Canada holds a special place in my heart, and then to follow that up with the FM week, kind of like a home
Hmm.
state,
Oh,
hometown girl advantage. I don't even know if it's an advantage. I think it's a little more stressful, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that
But
sounds stressful.
it's a good kind of stress, though. It's
Mhm.
fun. You hopefully give the home crowd something to root for and something to cheer on. But a couple exciting weeks, and there's still a lot of events left in the season. So really happy and excited to hopefully get the second win, and just keep giving myself a chance to be able to do so.
I feel like people don't talk about home events enough, and like you mentioned, just how I feel like stressful that can be, like a good kind of stress. But we were going over like the content plan for that week earlier today, and I heard your name like 5 times, and I was like, I was like, maybe we lay low on the Megan request for now. But I mean, are you gonna have like a lot of family out? Like, what is that week going to look like for you? Because obviously, also being an FM ambassador and being, in Boston, what will that week look like for you?
I joke and say that it's a pretty stressful week, but at the end of the day, like it's really cool to kind of be able to have, some family members come out that probably wouldn't be able to come out to other events. Since it is only driving distance, I have a lot of family members in Rhode Island and some in Massachusetts. And so, I try to look at it as a really cool week just because it's not something we've had in the past other than last year, and it's something where I can kind of show the girls on tour like this, hey, this is where I live, and some of them go, why? And then some of them are like, oh yeah, no, Boston's really cool. Um, Given it's not necessarily in Boston, but I mean, it is still cool to have people in my neck of the woods, just because the closest we've probably been on tour lately is New Jersey, and Massachusetts is very different than New Jersey in the
yes.
best way.
Right.
Little bias here, but just
Just
a
a little
little
bit.
bias.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Speaking of Boston, you're a huge sports fan. You love coffee. I would consider you a foodie. And yeah, you're a Boston girly. I have a couple questions. What does your week look like at home, like these next 2 weeks? And then also, um, how do you prepare whenever it's winter time there?
I get that question a lot. Well, we'll start off like when I'm home, like obviously Emma, you've lived the tour life and hope you travel just as much as we do out here. It gets a little tiresome kind of eating out on the road. And so when I come home, like, I thoroughly enjoy like making some home cooked meals in the kitchen and kind of just really getting to be a homebody once in a while. It's not often we get to, often we get Airbnbs, but it's still not the same just because it's not your place. And so for me, it's just kind of whether it's a simple grilled cheese or, a nice
Yes.
steak dinner, like it's still just the own comfort of my own home. And, that itself, I eat a little healthier just because
Mhm.
I think I'm a little lazier in getting food,
I mean,
in
we
all
all are.
honesty.
It's so hard. Like, home's so much easier.
Home's so much easier. And then like my parents are only 15, 20 minutes away. I have my family members that are an hour away. And I don't know, it's very laid back, very casual, and it's nothing too extravagant. I mean, once in a while we'll have like a nice little date night. But even then it's very rare just because he enjoys a home cooked meal just because we're on the road so much. But no, I do enjoy it, whether it's
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And when it comes to winter time, it's the one question I get all the time, um, of like what I do in the winter, just because obviously we do get snow up here, and it always shocks people when I tell them I love to snowboard, and
Mm.
like the shock on everyone's faces is like, oh, still?
You're like,
And
yeah, I'm that good.
and it's
I
like
don't
I
have
don't do
fear.
anything crazy. No, I don't do anything crazy. Like I'll like kind of head towards a ramp and then I'll chicken out and just peel off just because I go career, Megan, career.
Don't do this to
Um,
yourself.
My parents and boyfriend aren't too fond of the snowboarding still, but we're pretty safe about it. Again, nothing crazy. It's definitely humbling though when you do fall. Um, but like I've told myself when I fall, I just like tuck the wrist, like don't even try to save it. I'll get a concussion before I wreck the wrist. It's
Absolutely.
an awful mindset, but I was like, concussion's fine. It's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can recover
absolutely.
from that.
We can recover easy. I might be good for golf actually. Just forget.
So do you practice? Do you practice too when you're home, or do you just take a
I
couple
do
weeks off?
practice. So I hang the clubs up, and it's actually not indoors. So I actually hit off of like a mat of under heated bays,
Yep.
and sometimes there's snow, and if there's snow, they pack down the snow, and we'll hit out the side. But people call me crazy, but I've hit balls in like a t-shirt before in the winter, just because like this range has been designed where it's in the mornings from
Yeah.
like eight to noon, 8 to 1. It beams perfectly in, and you could literally be in leggings and a t-shirt, and it's the most fun thing because it's so pretty being able to hit out
Yeah.
into the white. And but
That's
I to be
exactly how
fair,
my coach was. He had the bays
nice,
and like the heat would come down, the sun would come in, and it was like, why would we not hit balls today? It's perfect.
exactly. It's gorgeous, and I'm not gonna lie, I always tell everyone too, like I feel a little less guilty hanging up the clubs when the weather is like 0 degrees out. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't have to, it's fine.
No,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Should, but it's freezing out, it's okay. Like tomorrow, we'll see how the weather
It'll be
is.
better
Yeah.
tomorrow.
And everyone needs
That's
a break
funny.
every once in a while. And I think not enough girls on tour probably take breaks. And I think that's probably why I don't want to say lasted because that's not the right word, but you've persevered through a
I'm not that
long career.
old, Emma. Come
But
on.
you're not old, but you're a vet out there. And that's where my next question is. You turned
Uh,
pro out of junior golf and you didn't go to school. How have you seen the tour progress and like what's something you've learned about yourself? Are you continuing to learn about yourself? And what have you learned about your golf game? 10 years is a long time. Just saying, Megan.
Trust me, I there was one week earlier this year where I was the oldest in the group for the whole week,
You're like,
and
great.
I was like 27. Like, is that old now? I mean, my cousin told me the other day, like, you're pushing 30, and I was like, thanks, pushing 30 now. Um, so it is definitely cool. Like, kind of, I stopped asking girls like what year they were born in, just because everything's past 2000 now.
Oh my God, I know.
Um,
It's scary.
I mean, it's been past 2000, but um, yeah, I will say it's been pretty cool, kind of seeing the changes. A little scary to be honest too. With obviously when I think we came out pretty similar. You were a couple years ahead of me, turning pro, but
I was behind you,
you know,
girl.
nah, I know you weren't.
Yes, I was. You turned pro before me.
What year did you turn pro, Emma?
2000, the end of 2017, 2017, I think. After I
Well, you went to
graduated.
college.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You turned pro before me. I'm older than
Oh,
you.
no, I mean, I will say, I think that's the really cool thing about golf though, because like I came out of high school and like I had friends. Obviously, I knew you in junior golf, and then like same with like Allison Corpuz, Lilia,
Hmm.
Patty. Like they all went to college. Patty went for like 1 or 2 years. Allison Lee went for a couple years, and then you have Allison Corpuz going for like a fifth year during the COVID year. And I think it's so cool to see like with golf, like there's so many different paths, and I think the women are a little more lucky in that sense, just because I mean, obviously it's tough to go pro in either side of it, being a man or a woman, but um, especially for the women, it's so many different paths, just because you have some girls like myself, Nellie, Brooke, uh, not going to college. I mean, you have Lexi and Lydia who kind of set that tone for us, saying like, "Oh, it's pretty cool." And then you have the girls who, like I'll admit, like when I first came out on tour, I had a couple veterans who I didn't quite know well enough yet, and they were like, "What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Oh, like I qualified." And they were like, "Why didn't you go to school?" And I was like, "I don't know.
You'd have been a perfect college
Uh,
girly.
I think I would have had too much fun in
You would
college."
have.
That's fair. You would have stayed there
Um,
You
forever.
did the right thing.
I know myself very well where I think I would have had a little too much fun in college.
Mm.
And so we will never know what college Megan would have done, and I think that's for the best.
She would have been fun though.
College Megan would have been very fun, a little hard to
Too much
tame,
fun.
I think. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's definitely cool just because it is funny because the veterans that I kind of looked up to when I first came out on tour are like, now Megan, like you gotta set. I'm like no, you're still out here, like you're the veteran. She's like, you're 10 years in, girl, and I'm like, don't say that. Like,
Don't say that.
You're an oldie
given
but a
I'm
goodie.
more than happy to lay down the law when I have to, but um, it is kind of crazy to think that this is my 10th season on tour and time goes by so fast because
Hmm.
it doesn't feel like it, but the body definitely feels it.
Yeah.
True.
With the Roan Dream Glow collection, you can move with intention and rest with ease. You're going to look cute, chic, and most of all, you are going to be so comfortable. Dream Glow is designed for your quiet moments with fabric that soothes while it performs. Get 20% off on Roan.com by using LPJ Pod 20. So at checkout, you're going to want to use the code LPJ Pod 20 to, get some new cute, comfy clothes. Megan, we already touched on your win in Canada, but when you reflect on that week, what memories come to mind?
I've always loved Canada. Even before I had won it, I'd always said like Canada is like our unofficial major. It's such a great event. The crowds, the sponsors, the spectators, like the volunteers. I think there's like a line to volunteer. And it's literally any part of Canada. It's not just one part. And so I've always loved that about Canada, and they've been super nice, um, even before everything. So it it's always been such a good memory every time I've gone to Canada, and obviously being able to get my first win there, in the way I did, it was definitely a memorable day just because going in, I think on Sunday I hadn't had a three putt all week, and then making the turn, I three putted number 10. I think I nearly like put it off the green, to be honest,
Oh, God.
because it was like an uphill putt. And I think I like nearly put it off the green because like I knew I had to hit it hard. So I three putted 10, and then I think that brought Young and I within one shot of each other. And like Jin Young was like the group ahead of us. Number 11, it was a par five, and I'd gone for the green in two, almost three putted, but I like snuck in my birdie. And I remember looking at my caddy at the time, and I looked at him and I was like, "Are you gonna talk to me? I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out."
Calm me down right now.
And he like looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, "Talk to me, talk to me." Um, yeah, because I mean, for those who know me, like I'm such a chatterbox that like, I was freaking out in my head. Funny enough, on number 12, the par three, I teed off second, and I'd hit such a good tee shot in to about 8 or 9 feet. And I just kind of like, we were walking off the tee box, and I looked at my caddy and I go, I'm gonna bleeping win this event if it kills me. I'm so tired of coming up short. And like, obviously, like you say that in hopes that you do.
Yeah.
Obviously hoping so. Like, it's not often that it does happen. But he like looked at me and he was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about."
said that.
And so it was pretty cool though. Like, I don't know what came over me or anything, but to be able to kind of pull that together, obviously get to 17, bogey 17. Now I'm freaking out because at that point Jin Young has a one shot lead going into 18, and then I have no idea what's going on. And like on our tour, we're allowed to use rangefinders. So I'm in the middle of the fairway on 18, like rangefinder in hand, like looking at the scoreboard at the back of the green, going, "Was that a putt for par or birdie? Par or birdie?"
And the commentators are probably
Um,
like, what is she looking at? I wonder what
yeah,
she's.
like I wasn't getting a number or anything. I'm just trying to see if that nine should do a 10 on the scoreboard. Um, and obviously hit like the best shot up in my career up to that point, and was able to make the birdie and force the playoff. Um, and so that I mean that back nine kind of is such a memorable part of that entire week, just because actually let me rephrase the first couple holes on the back nine and the last couple holes. I don't
Yeah.
remember the in between.
You
Fair
blacked out a
enough.
little bit in
I
between.
blacked out a little bit in between, but yeah, I don't remember.
It
That's
was
so
So that
funny.
amazing. I think that most of the tour was rooting for you that day because, I mean, everyone knows how good of a player you are. And I think everybody that day was like, come on, Megan. And I remember so many people ran out and sprayed you, and it was really cool. And I think, like I said, I think most of the tour was pretty pumped to see you win that week. I know I loved
Yeah,
it.
I will say like there were some people that like there were some people that I was like, "Oh my God, like I can't believe you stayed." And I was so touched by it just because, I didn't expect, many people to stay. But I mean everyone loves a playoff. Like I'll be the first to admit I love a good playoff. Um, and honestly, like Jin Young was so sweet though. Like Jin Young was so nice about the playoff, and like I know she didn't hit the tee shot she wanted to, and obviously didn't play the whole quite like she'd pictured or wanted to, of course. But even with the loss, like she was such a gracious loser at that point, and it was so nice because she was like, "I'm happy for you," and that was the sweetest thing because like I've never been in that situation where it's like, what do you say to each other?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even
Um,
know.
but like she made it
She's
so
so
easy. She was
sweet.
so nice. Like it
Hmm.
was like her and her caddy at the time, they were very much like, if we were gonna lose to anyone, like we're happy it's you. And I was like, oh, like that, like thank you so much. Like you didn't have to say that, but they were like, no, 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 like it's fine. We're okay with this
Oh,
one.
that
And I
means
was
a
like, oh,
lot.
okay. So
I
it meant a
yeah.
lot because I think Jin Young was number one at the time. I don't remember
I
for
think she
sure,
was.
I think she was
I
but
was
yeah,
too. Wasn't that around the era of like her beating Tiger's record of like, or tying
like the
Tiger?
bogey free
Yeah,
or
the bogey
whatever.
yeah.
free. I think that was that era.
She'd
But
been playing really well then.
but like I said, I mean, she's really nice, and like I said, everyone was rooting for
Hmm.
you, and I think it could not have been a better week. That's for sure.
And I always tell everyone, they're like, you look so calm in the playoff. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I had no clue where Jin Young hit it off the tee. If there was a camera on me while she was teeing off, I was hyperventilating, staring at a bush. Um, so
Disassociating on the tee.
yeah, so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think I blacked out. The only good thing was is that I had played 18 like two or three under in regulation for the whole week, so I had a good feeling about that hole. Um, but yeah, I was like, yeah, if there was a camera on me, you would have seen me like kind of freaking out.
But there wasn't,
And you won.
and
So
you
it's fine.
won.
Uh, yeah.
Well, DT told me you actually have a tattoo that like it's 23, right? It like honors
Yeah.
your like the year of your win and where is it? Can you show us your tattoo or no?
No, I
I don't know
can.
where it
So,
is.
so I got the
Oh,
number 23 right on my inner
aw.
I don't know if I've
bicep.
I've
ever
Or
literally
seen
never
it.
hello.
noticed that.
Me either.
Funny enough, because I won in Canada, the following year I got it in Canada.
Oh, that's fun.
Aw,
Mhm.
that's really
Obviously not in the
cool.
same province, but
Were you
Hmm.
planning on
yeah,
that the whole year, or like how did that go down?
I was planning it. I'd always wanted like another tattoo, and I kind of said I was gonna get one till I won, and I thought it was just so fitting because I had won in 2023. My birthday's the 23rd, and
Mine
it
too.
was just yes, it's for
So
you
for
too,
Emma's
Emma.
birthday too.
It's for you, Emma.
Thank you.
And so it was just cool because like um, it's obviously associated with like the greats like Michael Jordan and stuff like that. And everyone's like, "Oh, is that for Michael Jordan?" I just go, "Yeah, my Michael Jordan,
Yep.
Megan Khang." Um,
Yeah.
but no, it's no, it is nice though, just because it's a nice little like I have a few little tattoos and like they all have a little sentimental value to me.
That's awesome. Megan, I have just one more question. For the Boston event. I know you always are great about giving back to kids. What's one piece of advice that you have for all those kiddos that week coming out to watch you that want to be on the LPGA tour one day?
Lately, it's I've gotten that question like quite a bit from, parents who want their kids to stay like involved and wanting to stick with it. And, I've always just said like kind of keep it fun. It's gonna be hard, especially if like parent, is pretty involved, but I think it's great. You have the family support, but at the end of the day, like you gotta keep it fun because
Mm-hmm.
uh as a kid with my dad as my coach and stuff like that, even though he could be hard on me, like not even hard, like strict with me, obviously from the coach with the coach hat on, he still kept it pretty fun because I was 5.5 at the time, and I still don't have the best attention span. But like at the end of the day, he kept it so fun for me because like it left me wanting coming back more. And I think kids will enjoy golf so much more if you go out there, have fun, like just make it
Mm-hmm.
something that the kids want to go do and not something like it's a
Mm-hmm.
chore to do. And
Absolutely.
for parents, it's kind of like that's that would be my advice to parents. And for kids, it's kind of like you're gonna be frustrated, bad shots can happen, but like for me, I like to play a little game with myself where like if I get out of position, like let's see how creative I can be and like let's see how cool of a shot this will be. And I always joke with like a nice highlight reel. And sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but like then you play a game like, okay, how quickly can I bounce back? And whether it's, I made a double this hole, let's see if I can make one better on the next hole. Let's make bogey, and then it's little stuff like that. Just because I know, like when we play on tour, like we're playing against other great competitors, but at the end of the day, something that like my parents have always told me growing up is like at the end of the day, it's whoever plays the golf course the best. And so you don't have to worry about the person next to you. It's it's all about whoever can figure out the golf course and kind of do it with the least amount of mistakes. And so have fun, really just kind of enjoy being out there because there's a lot worse things we could be doing. And and if you can, if you're lucky enough to find a good group of friends, like it's always good to have little competitions, whether it's on the putting green, chipping green, or even like a little par three course.
Well, lastly, Megan, we have our sponsored question because in golf, when bad shots happens, there is the mulligan ball, and when fire, water, or other damage happens, there is Serve Pro.
They know how to make it like it never even happened. That's where our question comes into you, Megan. If you had a mulligan in life or in golf, where would you take it?
If I had a mulligan in life or in golf, where would I take it? Honestly, I'm pretty happy with like the life I've kind of come together with. I don't think I would be the person I am without the kind of mistakes and stuff I've learned along the way. But um, yeah, no, I'm pretty happy. Like I love the life I have. I'm very appreciative of the life that, golf and my family has given me. Um, I guess I would try to experience college just because I didn't get the chance to. It was something I always wanted to do, but like I thought my golf was such at a good spot at
Mm-hmm.
that point, and so I rolled the dice. Obviously, picked golf.
It
Haven't really
worked
looked
out.
back, but if I could go back, I think it'd be a great opportunity to kind of see what that life would show me.
Yeah.
Yeah. New content series, Take Megan to College. We're going to
That'd be
visit a couple of
sick.
colleges.
That'd be the funnest video ever. Can I please be part of that? Oh my gosh, that'd
Yes,
be
Oh
so fun.
gosh.
absolutely. All right, well, keep an eye out for that coming soon. Megan, thank you so
Oh
much
man.
for joining the podcast. We're so happy to have you on and can't wait to watch you teed up in Canada and in your home event at the FM Championship.
Awesome. Thank you both for having me.
Love ya.
Thanks, Megan.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.